All right. Well, welcome to Flag Rock Recreation Area. And we're going to read a little bit. I'm not sure how well this shows up on the GoPro. I've got this attached to my head here. I want to keep my hands free, so I'm not using my phone. So anyway, this is about some of the wildlife here in the area. And this talks about the green salamander. Much like Southwest Virginia, Flag Rock Recreation Area is home to a staggering number of amphibian species. Up to 20 different types of salamanders, in fact, can be found in and around the recreation area on High Knob. One of the unique species you might see while visiting Flag Rock is the green salamander, pictured to the left, this little guy right there. This is one of the most uncommonly seen salamanders in our area and is part of what makes the city of Norton in Southwest Virginia so unique. This area contains a habitat that is so important to species that the city of Norton has deemed this a salamander sanctuary. Biologists from Southwest Virginia and beyond are even performing studies here to better understand this unique animal, how it behaves, and what conditions it prefers. If you see one of these creatures out and about while you're visiting, snap a photo without moving, touching, or otherwise disturbing it, and let it go its own way. And there's some other well-known animals: the southern ravine salamander, eastern fence lizard, eastern box turtle, eastern garter snake. Here are some pictures of the area. Here's Flag Rock. We might see that here in a minute. Here's the lake. We'll see that here in a minute. Some trails that we'll walk. Here's an overlook on Highway 23 before you even get here. There's the overlook tower, or High Knob Tower. So, yeah, let's walk. And the reason I bring up the green salamander is because that's something that people don't often see around here. And this is seen as a salamander sanctuary. Now, up ahead here, we're going to visit my friend Bob. Now, in my last video, I alluded to this, talking about cryptids. And Bob, well, Bob is elusive. Bob is very shy. He's rarely seen by many. And yet, just like the green salamander, this area is known, area is known as a salamander sanctuary. Well, several years ago, about a decade ago now, this area was deemed a Bigfoot or wood booger sanctuary. And look at those mushrooms. Holy cow. Those are cool. So, let's read on here. Resolution declaring a Sasquatch Bigfoot sanctuary. Whereas the television show Finding Bigfoot made a stop in Southwest Virginia in 2011 and filmed an episode concerning Bigfoot or Sasquatch, locally known as the wood booger, sightings in the Norton area with emphasis on the High Knob Recreation Area where we currently are. And whereas the elusive creature is a scarce and as rare as believed by those who seek it, and whereas if High Knob and adjoining city of Norton recreational areas are possible habitat for the creature, and whereas if the creature is, as it appears to be, an endangered species, now therefore be it resolved that the Norton City Council, that the city of Norton is hereby declared a Bigfoot Sasquatch wood booger sanctuary. Be it further resolved that the city of Norton welcomes all those who seek and find and photograph the creature without causing injury to it or damaging the habitat in which it may reside. Adopted this 21st day of October 2014. Fred Ramey, City Manager. Norton City Council members: Williams Mays, Mayor; Joe Fallbush, City Mayor; Terry Roop, Joseph Huck Honeycutt, and Mark A. Caruso. Wood booger statue erected May 2015. Sponsors: A&A Enterprises, Kiwanis Club of Norton, Lions Club of Norton, Black Diamond Markets, Crutchfield, CSE Insurance Agency, Dairy Queen of Norton, Hagee and Fallbush, HCE Systems, Home Hardware, William Horn DDS, Miners Exchange Bank, Mullins Insurance Agency, Pathfinders Outdoor Adventures, which I think is a store right in town there, which we'll see here in a moment, Wiley and Ann Holbrooks, Buzz Witt, Wolf, Williams and Reynolds, Vice Decorating, Cartella, Carlota Wellis, or in memory of Butch Wells, John Wells, Carl L. Lawson, and Victor Collier. So, about a decade ago, they deemed this little town, quaint little town, in this area right here I've camped in. It's a beautiful area, a lot of trails, a lot of biking trails. There's lakes and reservoirs to fish in, great camping spots, and of course, Bob. That's what I deem this fella. That's what I deem all these statues I see. And that's what I deem the Bigfoot or Sasquatch in general. It's just Bob. So, when you arrive at High Knob in the Flag Rock recreation area, when you get to this spot, there's many spots to pull off and explore and things like that. You'll come to this spot. You'll pass the woodbugger back there. You'll come to a fence, which will allow you to see an overlook of the town of Norton. And since I'm using my GoPro, we're not going to get a nice close-up view of the town. I apologize. But hopefully it will come into view very well. Now check this out. Mind the noise, because this thing has a little dip in it. There it is. Little crevasse down there. And leading that way as well, which we'll go to. Like I said, mind the noise. And you are greeted to this lovely view. Just great. Now, just like I said in that last video I did a couple weeks ago, if this is a sanctuary for Bigfoot, Sasquatch, woodbugger, is this a surprise that something like that could live here? Down there, let's walk over here. And I think from here you can see Flag Rock, I believe. And what I need to do is actually get an app for my GoPro so I can control it on my phone. I'm told you can. Now I tell you what, here in the next couple months, if I come up here in the fall, this will be quite the view. When the leaves change color and you get that nice, beautiful, crisp fall air. This is just an incredible place to come to. There's the town of Norton. Directly ahead, if you see where my finger's pointing at, right there. That's where Flag Rock is. You'll see the flag right there. There's a trail that leads closer to the rock, but you can't get to it unless you have climbing gear. But there's the little town of Norton, and beyond that, you have Pound, Virginia, Clintwood, Virginia, and beyond that, Kentucky. So, I mean, this is just wilderness out through here. Really is. And to sit here and think that that creature cannot reside in this area at all, I think is quite foolish. And again, people make the argument, well, you know, we go here all the time. People come to this spot all the time. They go in the woods all the time. Most people stick to the trails, folks. Most people stick to places they are comfortable with. So, we're going to press on a little bit. And I'm going to show you some places I think maybe at one time the woodbugger, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, would have lived, if not reside currently in maybe in another location, but the type of environment. So we're going to seek that out right now. Here we go. All right, so this is a little trail going down in between one of many, you know, basically little canyons that are in these woods. And I personally like coming here. Now I want you to consider this. If your average Bigfoot is around 10 feet tall, your average man is about 5-6 feet tall. So a significant difference, but is it out of the realm of possibility that a Bigfoot or Sasquatch couldn't make its way through here like I am and tuck itself inside there? I mean, that's a great little spot if you wanted to have a nice little secluded camping area. Pitch you a sleeping bag in there, throw you a little campfire right here. The fire will heat up the rock around you so you'll stay warm in the wintertime and colder months. And, you know, there's no falling rock here, so you're pretty much safe. So is it outside the realm of possibility? Let's check out another spot. So to the left of that, going further down the trail here, this is why I wanted to get my GoPro and use the head mount, keep my hands free, because you got to make sure you have good footing. Now this is the danger here. I'm not sure where this rock came from, but clearly it came from somewhere. Maybe here. Maybe it came from here and fell down here. But that's a danger that one would have to watch out for. Now, this is a recreation area that people do frequent. Unfortunately, we see trash here. But even with that, I mean, look at what you're surrounded by. This is the area that you're in. I mean, this is a really cool area to explore and to hike. And I've been here in the summertime, I've been here in the wintertime, I've been here during the fall and spring seasons. And it's beautiful all year round. Each year, each season holds its own beauty in the area. And as I round this little turn here, that spot that I was pointing to earlier, that would make a nice little cozy camp, is right on the other side of this, basically. Now, here, you see this canyon. Up here is the bridge that I crossed. And you can see I can go pretty far back. It does narrow out right about here. This is where you pretty much cannot go. Even if you stand sideways, it's a squeeze. But, I mean, before people explored this area and turned it into a recreation, I wonder how many stories came out of these hills where people would explore and walk and they saw something they couldn't explain. And it makes you wonder, what came first? The sensationalism behind Bigfoot or Sasquatch, or those old stories? Where did those old stories come from? Now, the area that I'm in right now, it's not a camping area. Oh, that's cool. That's pretty. I don't know if that's coming out well, but it's a spider web. I don't see the spider, though, but still cool. But the area that I'm currently in right now is not the designated camping area. That's actually back down the mountain a little bit. Step here. Okay, there we go. Now this is the main trail. This will lead you back up to the parking lot where I started. The trail that I took you down to this rock area is just a little offshoot. Now over here is what I enjoy. Now this, if there is a habitat for Bigfoot, Sasquatch, this is it. In my opinion, this is it. I often wonder if that thing exists in this area at any point in time, if this was its home. Now I'm told there's another area in this mountainous, recreation area that is like this, with a lot of outcroppings and caves. Don't know where it is, but this is awesome. And one of the locals, I think, was a park ranger guy. He called it the labyrinth because it's just so unique. Now, Unfortunately, there's a lot of graffiti here. You can see there's openings here, and of course there's a big opening there. Now, when I first found this place, I thought it was awesome as can be. And again, clearly people come here, they leave trash and whatnot, and doodle on the walls. Thought I heard something. When you come here, look at that. Now, this rock was not here, like, say, 10 years ago or something like that, when I first started coming up this way. Since then, it has fallen from that, where you see somebody's climbed up there and did some graffiti. But this right here, I mean, this is awesome. This is a great spot to camp, you know, out of sight and out of mind. And who's to say Bigfoot or Sasquatch wouldn't use this same natural cave formation or canyon or rock outcropping as its home, as its shelter. I think it's quite possible and quite plausible. Even something like this, where it overhangs and you can bed down maybe right here. Let me get focused there. Yeah, why not? All right, I'm going to take you to another spot. We're going to do a little trail trekking. Well, first, tell you what, let's go down here. We're going to walk along the main trail. I will get you closer to Flag Rock, and I'll see you then. All right, let's see if I can get closer to Flag Rock here. Got to be very careful. As you can see, there's the flag. As you can see, I need to be extremely careful. And I am not too fond of heights, but I'm okay here. All right, so you can't really get to this rock from here. You actually have to use climbing gear to get up there and to that rock where the flag is at. I guess if you wanted to be Superman, you could probably jump from here to there, but then you risk sliding off down there. And you can see here somebody's made, I don't know if you can see that, but there are anchor points where people have climbed up, probably to put that flag in anyway. But this is Flag Rock. There it is. Hopefully you can see that. And while I got my GoPro off my head, let me see if I can zoom that in. Let's see here. There we go. There we go. And I might actually keep it at that setting. So, I'm going to take you somewhere else. Do a little trail trekking around the reservoir, and I'll see you then. All right, well, this is the reservoir. And it's actually pretty big, and it's pretty expansive. I might hike some of the trail. But you can't swim here, but you can fish and kayak. And so this is the upper reservoir, and then there is a lower reservoir down past where this dam is at. You got to get on the trail to get to it. Now, this is pretty cool. Looks like they got the water down a little bit. Usually the water is up to about where the grass line is at. And you really don't see that rushing water come down. So the water is down quite a bit. Kind of curious to see what the lower reservoir looks like. It sucks that there's no swimming in here though. Let's see what the regulations are. Trout, 6 per day. Trout less than 7 inches must be released. Catfish, 5 per day. Catfish less than 15 inches must be released. Trout license required between October 1st and June 15th. So here we are nearing the middle of August. So trout license is not required here. However, I think you still need a Virginia fishing license, which I don't have. Shh. What I have here is a little pocket fishing kit I've made. I took one of those M&M tubes that you get in the little candy M&Ms, peeled the wrapper off, super glued my string to it, and then wrapped it around. And then inside I have various assortment of lures, hooks, and sinkers, and a bobber. Now, with these little hand crank fishing kits that I've made, you can't really do a lot of spinner baits. It's best for live bait presentation and maybe jigging. So you can use maybe a spoon, you can use maybe a swim bait that's a jig, but you just don't get a fast enough pull to make it affect a spinner. So I'll probably do a video showing how I made this and how I made another one. But yeah, this is a pretty cool little place to go. It's just quiet up here, and that's why I like it. And even though we're in the middle of summer, you know, nearing the end of summer, we're in dead middle summer right now. It's not hot at all today, and especially up here, it's not going to be as hot as it will be anywhere else. So it's quite cool up here, even in the summertime. And in the fall, oh my God, it's paradise. And I'm a sucker for the fall, so maybe that's just bias on my part. But it's just beautiful up here. It really is. And it's a little gem. You know, people come here and they kayak and they camp and they hike and they bike ride. But even with the population that comes here, it's not too trashy outside of what you saw earlier with the graffiti and the trash inside that little cave and that canyon area. But you know, every time I've walked through this trail here, which I'll probably hit here in a minute, every time I've walked through this trail around here, I haven't really seen much trash, but people do come here. Last time I was here, actually, point in fact, at the lower reservoir, I was watching a couple guys pull up a kayak up the trail, and they were tired, you can tell, but they said, you know, I didn't know that there was a lower reservoir. They said, yeah, it's about as big as this one, if not bigger. So we might be able to see that. But what I think I'll do is I'll get on the trail, we'll walk this way, and it goes around till we get to where we can see the lower reservoir. And we'll see what we can do today. So yeah, this is a pretty lengthy video compared to some of my other ones. And I want to make a quick announcement. I'm eventually going to change the channel name. If you scroll through my channel, you'll notice that there are some podcasts called Expedition Esoterica. Those are my podcasts that I do over at Podbean. And I honestly didn't realize that they translated over here, to be honest. I need to vamp those up and put in tags and things like that and links so people can find them easier. But basically those podcasts are me talking about esoteric knowledge, things like that. I will get into a few social issues every now and then, but I try to stay away from a lot of that stuff. I will not get into politics. So I keep it, you know, more esoteric knowledge. You know, like you're talking about Bigfoot, I might get into that. I might get into some other interesting topics, you know, just for shits and giggles. And then you'll see more nature stuff here. Now, I'll probably change the channel name to reflect that podcast, because even though I initially started this as a rock hounding video channel, I do more than just rock hounding when I'm outdoors. I hike trails, I'll kayak, bike ride. So the Expedition Esoterica is going to be an outdoorsy, exploring, you know, exploration type channel with philosophical and spiritual musings. So if you're into that sort of thing, welcome aboard. And I hope everybody's been enjoying these videos so far. I will be doing shorts like I have been doing, you know, rock hounding shorts probably, you know, what I call creek creeping, trail trekking. So those two things you'll see a lot of, and this is a trail trekking video. So, and I also do cave crawling. So the creek creeping, the trail trekking, and the cave crawling you'll see in coming videos. So look for those, and let's get on this trail. Oh, I don't know if you can see that. There's a tadpole right there. There's another one there. Unless these are salamanders. Ooh, I wonder if these are the elusive green salamanders. I will get a picture with my phone before we continue on. And I'll make sure that this gets included. Is it a tadpole or a salamander? I wonder to myself. And then the other one is over here. This one looks more like a salamander. It's greenish looking, so I wonder if this is the green salamander. Look at that. Look at this. What is that? That is so cool. It looks like a salamander, but the way it swims. That is so cool. And there's our other guy right there. That is so neat, y'all. Wow. And this little guy's just hanging out right here. All right, so for what you don't see on the GoPro, I'll show in the off the camera on my phone. All right, so what I have here, little pocket fishing kit from an old M&M tube where you get the M&M candies. I have a 10-pound braided line to a swivel and a little chartreuse jig. And how this works is, how I do it, is I hold it with one hand. Actually, I'll do it with my right hand. It's better that way. I'll hold it with this hand here, and I kind of let my finger hit on that line to hold it in place, and then I cast it out. It doesn't go too far, maybe 20 feet, and then I'll just slowly reel. And like I said, it's used as a jig. I have caught fish off this type of system, this type of setup. And I've caught it with a jig similar to this, and I've caught it with live bait. Yeah, seeing those little salamanders, or whatever they were, I want to say they were salamanders, because they didn't look like tadpoles. The body type was different, so that was just so cool. And I'm kind of wondering if those were the elusive green salamanders of this area. That would be awesome. And if so, cool. So anyway, I'm sinking in the mud here, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to step right here. I had to get closer to see those lizards. Let's walk over here, stand on this rock. Where the water's down, it's muddy. So I can do it one-handed or two-handed, where I'm holding it from this hand, holding the whatever it is, the tube in this hand, and I can just toss it out there like that, and then we slowly reel, or reel as quick as we can, do a little jig, reel, jig and reel, jig and reel, you know, just like Celtic music, jig and reel, or bluegrass, jig and reel. Kind of makes you wonder where the terms came from, jig and reel. It is hard to do when you're reeling, because, you know, you want to keep a solid reel, and it's hard to do to keep it steady and to get a good presentation in the water, but it has worked, and I have caught fish from it. So it is not outside the realm of possibility. I think it's best with, you know, hook and bobber, honestly, because you can just throw it out there, let it sit, and then just reel when you get something. But, I mean, this does work. So you just got to do it right. And it's a nice little thing to have in your pocket. You know, if you're out there hiking, driving around town or whatnot, and you see a nice little pull-off fishing area, you don't feel like bringing a fishing pole and a bunch of tackle. these little things come in handy, and I highly recommend making them. Making a few, keep them in your glove box, keep them in your pocket, you know. And even if you don't catch anything, just being out in nature, that's what matters, you know. I'm just happy that I came here and I saw those. I'm convinced they're salamanders, so I'm going to call them salamanders. So I'm happy that I was able to see those guys in the water. They're real pretty. The water was nice and clear. The sun was out. It's coming and going because of the little bit of clouds that we have here, but it was certainly nice to see. Definitely a treat for sure. So I'm going to put this guy back. Now what I do is I wrap it up, and this is why I like the little M&M tubes, is I open the lid up, I wrap 2 wraps around the hinge there and tuck everything inside. This keeps it from coming unraveled. Close it up, put it in my pocket, I'm good to go. And you can pack anything in there that you find useful. And you know, if we're thinking of a survival situation, or say bug out or anything like that, pack you a couple waterproof matches or a cheap lighter, if the container's big enough. I have made a container out of river cane, like I mentioned earlier, and it was wide enough and deep enough where I put an ample amount of tackle in there, a small flashlight, some waterproof matches, a spare lighter, like a big lighter, and a pocket knife. And I mean, that's an ample little survival kit. So let's onward. So those videos of the salamanders are also on my shorts. Not my shorts, I'm wearing pants, but still my shorts. So check those out as well. So yeah, I mean, this is a really cool place. I've camped in this area a few times. It's a 10-minute drive from town. And it's just quiet, it's peaceful, and there's a lot to do. And there's a lot here, that's the thing. I mean, what I've shown you in this video is just a portion of what's here and what I've seen so far. And there's a lot. There is a lot. This connects to the Jefferson, Washington National Forest, where there is the High Knob Overlook, where you can see this part of Southwest Virginia into Tennessee, even into North Carolina, and I think into West Virginia, and they say you can see parts of Ohio and certainly Kentucky. So you can see several states in this one location, which is cool. Now, over here, I'm gonna walk along here. Well, I'll go here first. I'll go here first. So this is the dam I was talking about. And this wasn't a long walk, by the way. You know, had I not stopped and fished a little bit, those 2 clips I shared you, maybe a 10-minute walk, you know, from where I parked over there. You can actually hear the water. So where I parked over there, walked around maybe 10 minutes max. Here's the lower reservoir. And that water is down as well. And so we have this trail here that I think people use when they bring their kayaks down. This is also probably a service road for the Forestry Service and rangers and whatnot. But yeah, you have the lower reservoir down there. You have the upper reservoir here. Now, I don't think you can do anything down there. You can kayak. Of course, I don't think you can swim. You can fish. So let's read here. Norton Reservoir Rules and Regulations for Fishing. VD, Virginia Department of probably Game and Fish, I don't know, has added Norton Reservoir to its catchable trout stock program. Trout license is required to freshwater fishing license between October 1st and June 15th. The reservoir is a catch and release fishing area except for trout and catfish. So you can keep the trout and catfish so long as they are within the limit of 7 inches or higher for the trout and 15 inches or higher for the catfish. The reservoir is open for use each day from 1 hour before sunrise until 12 midnight. It is unlawful for any person to use the reservoir between 12 midnight and 1 hour before sunrise. Between October 1 and June 15th, the reservoir shall be open for use each day from 5 a.m. until 1 hour after sunset. Stocking information can be obtained by the website or by calling blah, blah, blah. So yeah, the lake will receive stockings between October 1st and May 15th. A trout license is not required from June 16th till September 30th. So yes, I mean, right now I'm legal to fish if I were to fish in the reservoirs. And I want to come out here and actually do some fishing. Certainly. I really want to plan a camping trip out here and really enjoy myself. Take the family camping, come out here and kayak and fish. And we did it one year and we loved it. We really did enjoy ourselves. Like I said, it's quiet. To camp, I think it's $20 a night, 10 or 20. And you just drop your money in a little drop box when you arrive in the campsite. And a lot of people, they get sneaky. They'll come here. And I guess for people, especially who might even be hobos, maybe not outright homeless, but wanderers, we'll call them. They'll come out here and they'll camp out for the night and leave before any game warden comes by. The game wardens typically come by, I think, in the evening to check and make sure people are, you know, paying their way in. Now, we came here one time, last time we came here, and we had the money, but we didn't put the money in the box right away. And we spent 2 nights here. And not at one point did the game warden come by. So we, shh, don't tell. We didn't even bother, you know, we just, you know, left the day, you know, the day that we were supposed to leave and basically camped for free. So we're like, okay, well, the game warden never came by, you know, because we figured if he came by, we were going to say, yeah, we got it. And we were going to either give him the money to take up there or have him follow us. That way we were legit. But, you know, we weren't intending on leeching and trying to get a free camp, but it was pretty funny. So this trail here, where I parked, is actually down here, but there's actually a parking lot up top, and this trail here leads to that parking lot. I'm not going to go that way, so I'm going to come back around and go back to my vehicle. But yeah, if you are in the Southwest Virginia area or in the region, this region of Appalachia, Northeast Tennessee, Southwest Virginia, South Kentucky, Western North Carolina, or if you're just traveling or looking for an area to camp that's quiet, you're looking for some recreation that's peaceful and quaint and pretty and serene, I highly recommend this area. I really do. It's really nice. What is that? Oh, that's somebody walking with their dog. Okay. I saw a big white dog and I'm thinking, oh my God, is that a white wolf? And I see somebody walking, so it's somebody walking with their dog. They're enjoying the lower reservoir, it seems. But yeah, I highly recommend this area. It's beautiful. It's worth the trip. And I get to come out here, you know, every few months. I serve as a client site right there in the town of Norton. So, you know, I get the chance to come here and walk the trails and enjoy nature for a little bit. So it's nice. I recommend everybody do it at least once or twice in their life. Actually, it should be once or twice a day. Why not? Get out in nature, get out of the cities, get out of town, enjoy life, you know. I think too many people seem to live in misery. Oh, you're following me. Well, come here. You can be in my video. Come here. Go to your owner. Come here. You came up that hill fast, didn't you? All right, go on. Go on. Good boy. Anyway, I thought I heard something behind me. I think a lot of people live in misery because of the world we live in. Hey, Okay, now you're creeping me out. He came up that hill fast because she was way down there with him. Anyway, because of what people see in the world that we live in, I think people are miserable, you know, and they don't know how to deal with it. And I just say, get out, get some fresh air, you know, find the peace in your life. And if that means getting off the internet, guys, by all means, get off the internet. I mean, look at how much crap is here on the internet. YouTube, BitChute, Gab, Facebook, Twitter, or whatever that's called now. I don't really use a lot of these. I do use BitChute, and I do have a BitChute channel where I have done a video here and elsewhere, but I get into more edgier discussions over at BitChute. But you know, the internet is not the be-all end-all, and just because it's being shared on the internet or something's gone viral doesn't mean it pertains to you or the world around you. You know, sometimes ignorance is bliss. I'm not saying put your head in the sand and ignore the issues, and I'm certainly not saying that there aren't any issues. There certainly are. But don't let them rob you of your energy in your life. I hate to sound new agey, but literally be the change that you want to see in the world. Don't let all this stuff dictate you or govern how you look at things. Acknowledge that it goes on. And if you are in a position where you can make a difference or speak your mind, by all means do so. But that doesn't mean you have to be miserable. And this is what the internet has done, politically, socially, etc. You know, it should be a tool of information and communication. Instead, it's just a hotbed of nonsense and bullshit. And I enjoy coming out here to escape all that, to remind myself that there's more to life than what's behind the keyboard and mouse. Now, I didn't show you all this. If I were to go down to that lower reservoir, there's more trails. There's a bike trail and that has a really cool bike course, mountain biking course. And there's just a lot, like I said, there's a whole lot more to this area than what I'm even showing in this video. Time constraints, I apologize. This is my hour lunch break. You know, this is what I do on my lunch breaks. I take the hour and I walk trails when I can. And I love this. I love walking on the pine floor forest. Got really tall pine trees, and it's just beautiful. In the fall, in the late summer, early fall, the mushroom variety is amazing. So I'm hoping I can come out here in the next few months and show you guys some kick-ass mushrooms, maybe do some mushroom hunting. That's another thing I enjoy. So, things to look out for in coming videos, which I will continue to do. I'm sorry I took a lull in making any. But things to look out for are more creek creeping, which will involve primarily rock hounding there. Cave crawling, once I find some suitable caves to explore. And there are some in my area. And we did a little cave crawling today. Trail trekking, where I'm just walking, talking, showing you the scenery, taking pictures when needed. And mushroom hunting, when I know it's in season, when I know I'm in an area that we find really good mushrooms. So look for that stuff. And get out there and find your own adventure, as they say. For now, this has been the first video of the new name of this channel, Expedition Esoterica. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you in the next one. Peace.